What is up, everybody? Thank you so very much for joining us again on the J&J Toy Giants YouTube channel, Toy Unboxing. Again, I am your host, JD. So if you remember a couple weeks back that I actually did an unboxing of the Automorphin Fliphead figures from Power Rangers released by Bandai. And one of the things that I remember that they were also releasing was not only the Automorphin Fliphead, but they were also releasing what I'm going to be going over today, the Megazords, the Tyrannosaurus by itself with the Power Sword. I'm also going to be going over the Mastodon with the Pterodactyl. And of course, finalizing the full Megazord, I'm going to be going over the Triceratops and the Saber-Toothed Tiger. So, on the back, let me see, this one here, there we go. On the back, because the other ones have stickers on it, but on the back you can see if you put them all together, you make the Dino Megazord. So I'm really excited. I've always wanted a Megazord. I actually had a Megazord back when I was a kid when these came out, but it was huge. I also had the Dragon Zord, and you know, as I mentioned, you know, a lot of times when I was younger, when I was moving around after my mom passed away, I had to give away all my toys. I couldn't bring them with me. So I lost a lot of good stuff that I had, man. If I had some of the stuff that I had before, I'd be in seventh heaven right now. But this is actually a cool, kind of like a smaller scale to have, you know. I would love to have it like in real big scale, which I'm sure they still have. If you go to like a vintage toy store, if it's still Mock or even Lucy, you'll probably be able to find it Lucy now. But it'd be pretty cool to have like a addition to my collection. So I'm definitely excited to let these bad boys breathe, brother.
Dinosaur power, now!
All right, so the very first thing I'm going to be going over today, I thought it would be kind of cool that I review these in the order that they actually come out whenever the Dinozords are summoned. So usually it's always going to be the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So Jason's Zord comes out first, then Zack's Mastodon comes out second. And then third is the Triceratops, then the Saber-Toothed Tiger, and then the Pterodactyl before they transform. So, I gotta be honest, I'm kinda a little bummed out of how these are kind of like made. I mean, maybe I should back up here. So, the purpose of these toys, that they made these, the reason why they made them is so that you could actually transform them into the Megazord. That's pretty much obviously the main thing. Now, when I had the Dragon Zord back in the day, when the first Megazords came out, where they were like really like scale to these size, I'll show you right here. So obviously, that these size, although this one was a little smaller of the original one, and the Zords were a lot bigger than that, so they were kind of scale. And so obviously these were way bigger. I had the Dragon Zord, and then what else did I have? I had the Dragon Zord and the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So when I had the Tyrannosaurus Rex, it was huge. You know, because obviously they wanted to have that kind of like that Godzilla type feel to it. But the way that these are made, I don't really see a lot of playability, if that's even a word, with these particular Zords. Like, I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but the Pterodactyl, this is it. It's not really a lot. Like, this is all open, which I thought it was going to be like the back of it where some, like, part of it would come off and you would just use this for the chest piece. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really have a lot of playability in the Zords in and of itself. Now, they come with instructions, so you can see exactly what it's going to look like pretty much before you get to Megazord sequence. And it basically tells you how they go in before you transform. And then on the back on each one of these has their own instructions on how you transform them. Pretty much you only need these instructions for the Tyrannosaurus and the Mastodon, because it doesn't take rocket science, but the pterodactyl and the saber-toothed tiger and the Tyrannosaurus are pretty much self-explanatory. So basically, like, you can play with these. It's really flimsy in the way that they actually stand up, at least for the Tyrannosaurus. And for the Mastodon, it's like the legs move, but it's kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly. So anyone who's actually watching this, give me your thoughts just by what you're seeing here. If you already have these, let me know, or just give me a link to your review, and I would love to watch that review, and get your side of the spectrum, so to speak. So with the Tyrannosaurus, actually comes with the power sword. Obviously, we need that at the end. And of course, the Mastodon comes with a detachable head, because this is actually pretty much going to be the arms here. And so you can kind of already see how these are going to be able to get, transform. And I'll do like a time lapse to see me try to put these together. I think the comic relief would probably be just watching me trying to put these together, because I am not that, great as it pertains to like putting stuff together. So you try to see me putting some Legos together, that'll be, you don't even need anything to drink. It'll just be funny just in and of itself. But so obviously the Tyrannosaurus is the main part. The Mastodon are the arms. And all right, so it's pretty much all I got to say. I mean, I know it's kind of short ski, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is actually with move, and I believe you might be able to take this apart. I got to look at the actual instructions, but I know that the chest piece opens up. So you can put the head down, and there is the Megazord right there. Wow. So, all right. So I'm gonna put these to the side so you can open up the Tyrannosaurus's mouth to kind of like have that fire breathe, or the laser beam that comes out. And so I'm just gonna take out the other ones and see how they are, and be with you in a second. So here's the Triceratops and the saber-toothed tiger. So this is what I was talking about, okay? So there's not even any wheels down here for you to play. If you're on not a smooth surface, it's not going to be that great to kind of play with these. You kind of have to use your imagination. And I understand when you're a kid, these are meant for kids and not necessarily collectors, although we love them. If you really want an actual detail, you might have to come out of pocket a little bit and get the original ones that came out in '94. But the saber-toothed tiger is a little bit better in the terms of you can move the legs, so it makes it look like it's in action. The mouth doesn't open, although the actual tusks do move around. So that's another thing too with like and I may be like just nitpicking, but it's just my opinion. The mouth doesn't move on this, but the mouth moves on the Tyrannosaurus. There's no wheels on this, so it's really that how can you really play with these? The little part on the back comes out, but that's actually because that's what's going to connect the Mastodon to the Triceratops. There's really nothing that comes. There's no extra weapons or anything like that. So it is kind of like, and then of course you move this up because that's going to be the foot. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion on these, you know. And then of course the pterodactyl, I kind of already mentioned at the beginning of this video that that's just kind of like, it's kind of lame. Don't you think it's a little lame? You know, for the price point, I think that's what my biggest gripe was. For the price point that these are, it's kind of lame. You know what I mean? Who knows? Maybe I'm just a little bit, what's it, boomer type thing, where I don't really appreciate what they are. I'm not mad. I'm glad that I have these. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that for the price point that they are, how they're made, it's kind of meh. You know what I mean? And again, for those who kind of agree with me or give me your take on it in the comments section of this video, and we'll see. You know, I'd love to get your opinion. Or like I said, if you've done a review on these before, give me, send a link. I will allow you to put in your link, because I know people kind of like frown upon that when you put your own link to your video in somebody else's comments. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm actually asking you to give me your link just to kind of, see your review and get your take on these particular toys specifically. So, not really much that I can say in and of itself for these things specifically. So let's try to put these together. All right.
Megazord sequence has been initiated.
All right, so this is it. I know this. I'm trying to get it as close as we can, but it took me a little bit to be able to get the arms open, because in the instructions for the Mastodon, you're supposed to swivel both arms open, and I didn't want to break it because it, like I said, the material, the way it's made, it's very basic. I'm guessing this is supposed to be a basic figure as far as the Megazord is concerned. So the arms weren't the one part of the arms wouldn't flip open, where I was supposed to, put them to the side here. So you got the Mastodon shield, or the face is the shield, and then of course you got the power sword. You got the face open here, and then the tail for the Tyrannosaurus is going to be on the back here. So all in all, pretty good. I love this. Let me get you a close-up real quick. The face. And I mean, like I said, I'm glad that I have this in my collection. The material that they made these were kind of but you cannot be happy with the end result. As long as it's actually like it works. I'm not really going to take these apart. I mean, I'm just going to keep it as is and just collect other Dynazords. I'm going to need to get more shelving for that, a bigger shelf. So I'm going to be doing that. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty cool. As you can see, not too shabby. All right, so ultimately you can see I'm just using this as kind of like an example here as far as like how scale this is to the actual figures here. Now, this is actually the one that I told you about, the Green Ranger flip head that was re-released back in, I think it was 2018. So it's not the exact one like this one I'm going to be reviewing. So, which is this one right here. Let me just move this over. So you can see that this one's actually a little bit bigger than that one, but it's still, this Megazord is still definitely considerably bigger than the actual flip head figures. So kind of gives you an idea exactly how to display them. I'm actually looking to see if my shelves actually even have enough space for me to actually put this bad boy on my shelf, but we shall see. But yeah, so definitely looking to see how I can display this bad boy. And for anyone in the comments, let me know exactly what you guys think. Specifically, if you already have this, let me know what your experiences was in the comments. And yeah, what you like, what you don't like, but definitely gonna see what we're gonna do. All right, and that completes our video today of the J&J Toy Giants YouTube channel Toy Unboxing. Thank you so very much for joining us again. Again, I am your host, JD. Be sure to like and subscribe and also comment on any of our video submissions on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And also follow us on TikTok. Thank you so very much. And everyone be safe this fall. I know it's starting to get a little colder now. I know it is in my house. But thank you so very much. And keep safe. Keep on cruising. See you later.